What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Raccoon City, California. I'm a therapist to games, and today we are talking about Capcom potentially dropping the ball when it comes to the trajectory of where Resident Evil could have went after the first trilogy capped off by Resident Evil Code Veronica. But before we get into that, if you guys can do me a huge favor and hit that like and subscribe button, because my philosophy is if you enjoy the vibe, why not like and subscribe? Now, let's get into it. If you're watching this video, then this means that you have been a fan of Resident Evil since the beginning. We're talking the OG PlayStation 1 trilogy days that was capped off by Resident Evil Code Veronica. Resident Evil started off about a game about laboratory experiments in a mansion in a forest that went totally wrong, causing researchers to become zombies or other creatures. Part 2 and Part 3 saw the virus work its way into the city, causing chaos in which anyone left alive had no choice but to try and escape the city. Now, the common theme of Part 2, Part 3, and Code Veronica was that at the end, they all had the common goal of wanting to take down Umbrella. Now, after Part 2, Claire goes to look for her brother at what she thought, was a research facility, but Chris wasn't there. And so all of a sudden, she ends up on an island trying to escape because there's an outbreak there as well. So with 2, 3, and Code Veronica all ending in which there was this quest for vengeance against Umbrella, the story didn't go in the direction that we hoped. Let's take a look at the endings of Part 2, 3, and Code Veronica. Very quick snippets to show you exactly what I'm talking about.
Come on, time to leave.
Now? What's wrong? Is something following us?
We have to go. We don't have any time to waste.
Go? Where?
Hey, it's up to us to take out Umbrella.
So as you saw, Leon Kennedy basically says, yo, after all we've been through and all the things that they learned in the in the Raccoon City Police Department, in the police station, and then going to the Umbrella Laboratory, after learning all that, going through all that, he says it's up to us, essentially, because they believe they're the only ones left alive, that it's up to them to stop Umbrella. Now let's take a look at the ending really quick to Resident Evil 3, which takes place at the same time of Resident Evil 2, and listen closely to what Jill says.
That's it. I've had it. This time they've gone too far.
And so remember, Jill was a part of what went down in the Spencer Mansion in Part 1. So she was very fully aware of what Umbrella was capable of, what they had been up to. But unfortunately, because all the evidence was destroyed in Part 1, no one believed them. And so they had to live their lives basically having this information, but not being able to do anything about it. And you heard what she said. She said, this time they've gone too far. They're flying off in a helicopter. That leads me to believe that she was also on her quest to try to stop Umbrella. Now let's take a look at Code Veronica's ending that features Chris and Claire.
Chris!
Hey,
You know that I always keep my promises.
Chris, promise me. Please promise that you won't leave me alone again.
I'm sorry, Claire, but it's not over yet. There's still something we've got to do.
You mean...
Yeah, it's payback time. We've got to destroy Umbrella. Now, let's finish this once and for all.
And there you have it again. Chris pretty much saying that they are about to go and stop Umbrella. Now, Code Veronica should have really been Resident Evil 4. It was a true sequel to basically what happened in part 2, 1, 2, 3, where Claire went on, part 2, Claire was only in Raccoon City to try to find Chris. And when she found out Chris wasn't there, her and Leon had to escape the city. Now, seeing as though 2 and 3 happened at the same time, them escaping Raccoon City, the next game in line is Code Veronica, and it is truly a continuation where Claire goes where she went to try to find Chris. And obviously he wasn't there. She ends up on Rockford Island, and then Chris shows up, and then they said, okay, we're about to go take down Umbrella. Now, seeing all of that, as somebody who played the game back in the day, the only thing you can think about is, wow, it's about to go down with Umbrella. We've got, Leon saying that he's ready to take Umbrella down. You got Chris saying that he's ready to take Umbrella down. He's with his sister. Will these three meet up in Europe, to take on Umbrella? Man, can't wait for part 4. And then part 4 comes out. And this is how it starts.
1998. I'll never forget it. It was the year when those grisly murders occurred in the Arklay Mountains. Soon after, the news was out to the whole world, revealing that it was the fault of a secret viral experiment conducted by the international pharmaceutical enterprise, Umbrella. The virus broke out in a nearby mountain community, Raccoon City, and hit the peaceful little town with a devastating blow crippling its very foundation. Not taking any chances, the President of the United States ordered a contingency plan to sterilize Raccoon City. With the whole affair gone public, the United States government issued an indefinite suspension of business decree to Umbrella. Soon its stock prices crashed, and for all intents and purposes, Umbrella was finished.
Capcom moved Resident Evil to the GameCube and said, to hell with whatever the hell we created before. They said, you know what? Kill the Umbrella saga, kill the going after Umbrella. We're just going to say that Umbrella went under and let's just move on. Leon is now going to be a secret agent, and he's going to go rescue the president's daughter, and we're going to make this an action movie. I was so disappointed in the direction that Resident Evil went after that. It was bad enough that they went to the GameCube, to the GameCube, because not a lot of people who were Resident Evil fans had GameCubes. Resident Evil started on the PlayStation. They built the bulk of their fan base as PlayStation gamers, and then they go to the GameCube with an exclusive deal, and we saw how bad the numbers were. We saw how bad the numbers were with when Code Veronica went to the Dreamcast, that they ended up having to bring these out on PlayStation anyway. But the damage has already been done. You turn the franchise into something that had, continuality, if that's the word, and just disrupted it and said, we're going to just kill the Umbrella stuff and let's move over in this direction. Part 4, 5, and 6. Part 4 was a good game. I don't consider it Resident Evil. It felt more like a side mission. It felt more just like a separate story, and we're going to slap the name Resident Evil on it. I didn't really like that. Part 5 was cool because it was 2-player couch co-op. And it was just a fun shooter that you can play with a friend. But again, I couldn't even tell you what Resident Evil 5 was about. Like, the story just does not stick in my mind the way part 1, 2, and 3 did. And even Code Veronica. And then part 6, I played part 6 a couple times and still couldn't tell you what the premise is about that game. And the direction that they went in after part 4 just changed everything. I feel like they could have, what they did with part 4, they could have, same mechanics, same everything, except a different story. Part 4 could have easily been about, the team going to, Umbrella HQ and gearing up for this war that it seemed like they were about to gear up for. Chris, Leon, even Jill, Jill's like, they've gone too far. Next thing you know, the next time we see Jill, she's, that whole situation where they join the BSAA and all this stuff like that. And then she's working for Wesker. I don't know. It mind control devices. It got a little goofy for me. I'm not going to lie. It got a little goofy, and so I never played the original part 4 because I just wasn't feeling it. And I only played part 5 and 6 because they were multiplayer games. I didn't even bother playing 7 or 8. And with part 9 coming out, I don't know, but Outbreak was absolutely amazing. Another game that was set in the realistic, like the realistic setting. Hey, shit just popped off. We've got to escape. But I'm curious to know you guys' thoughts. Do you guys think that after Code Veronica, the series should have continued in the direction of going to Umbrella HQ and really dealing with whatever, like that could have been the opportunity for them to have more zombies, different types of zombies, different types of monsters and things like that they were experimenting on. That could have been a great game. And then lastly, when they were in part 2 and they read Chris's diary and found out he wasn't there, he's like, hey, I talked with Jill and Barry and they said, stuff's going on at the HQ. And then he's like, his next entry was, we've decided to go to Umbrella HQ in Europe. Who the hell is we? Barry and Jill were still in Raccoon City at that time. Where the hell was Chris? I don't know. But anyway, I'm curious to know you guys' thoughts. Do you guys like the way Resident Evil went, part, story-wise, part 4 and on? Or do you think that Capcom dropped the ball by not going after Umbrella and just coming up with a crazy excuse as to why Umbrella is no longer around, with the stock market crashing and they can't do business anymore? Because let me tell you, if you're doing shady business like that, you don't need a damn a business license to do it. You're going to continue to do those experiments in the basement. But anyway, curious to know your thoughts. Leave them in the comments and I'll catch you guys next time here in Raccoon City, California. Till next time, peace.